Hello everyone, I'm Karen and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to check in and give an update on how things are going for me now that the Lenten season is over, and actually we're probably about halfway through Easter season, so I'm a little late checking in, but overall things are going very well. I had a really great last few months. If you watched my video on my mid-Lent update, the couple of things I was working on was reduction of carbohydrates down to the ketogenic level, 20 grams, and then elimination of alcohol. And I was struggling then, and I will admit I continue to struggle with both of those throughout the Lent season. And so I will not say I was successful at either one, but I would say I was semi-successful because I did drastically reduce my carbohydrate intake. I would say that every day I was under 50 grams, which was a significant reduction from how I was eating before, and definitely focused on staying grain-free. I watched some excellent interviews, Dr. William Davis, the Wheat Belly program, and his books and information and materials, but some great interviews of him on YouTube about just getting rid of grains. And so in the times where I did have carbohydrates, it was typically like beans or sweet potatoes or something like that. I did focus on the gluten-free, grain-free, even if my carbs were not down at the 20-gram level. The other thing with the alcohol, again, significantly reduced the frequency and the quantity of what had become my habit, but I can't say that I entirely eliminated it throughout all of Lent. There were some periods of time of, a week to 10 days straight in a row where I would have none, but throughout the whole time frame of Lent, I did consume alcohol during that time frame. So spiritually, it was a very powerful time for me, and one of the reasons why is a book that I was using. It's called Rediscover Jesus. It's by Matthew Kelly, and it's 40 days, or it's broken up into 40 chapters, and pretty much one for each day. And they're brief. It's just great for like a morning meditation. You can see that it's like a brief read, and then he gives some what at the end of each point to ponder, scripture verse to live by, questions to consider, and a prayer. And just to kind of give you a brief feel of what this is like, the first chapter is talking about new beginnings, and getting to a place where you just feel bogged down by all the things going on in the world or in our families or at work, or that there's so little that we can do a lot about some of the things that are going on, and that God is a God of new beginnings, and Jesus is the ultimate new beginning, and that God is always waiting on us. And sometimes we may think that we're waiting on Him, but that's never the case. It says, what's happening in your life right now? What's not working in your life? What great question are you grappling with in your heart? Why did you pick up this book? Do you need a fresh start too? And that really spoke to me. I did need a fresh start this spring. And so on the points to ponder is that it's never too late for a fresh start. The Bible verse is Matthew 7:7, which says, ask and it will be given to you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. The question to consider is, in what area of your life is God inviting you to experience a new beginning? And the prayer is simply, Jesus, help me to believe that a new beginning is possible. So again, that sort of shows you the layout of the book, and I believe that no matter where you are on your Christian walk, if you are a new Christian, or if you have been walking with God for a long time, just the way he presents the scripture verses, the questions he asks, the points that he makes in his writings are just, I thought they were fantastic, and I believe anyone, anywhere in their walk could benefit from this. The other thing I wanted to mention in terms of weight loss, I did lose some weight during this time, not as much as I'd hoped, but then again, I did not reach my goals in terms of carb limits and alcohol elimination, so I had kind of expected that. But I did lose about 7 pounds, which for me is really good. I mentioned in my intro video that I have struggled with my weight my entire life, and all the various crazy or not so crazy diets I've done over all these years, plus my age, has just blown my metabolism. And so for me to lose weight is very difficult. And so I am encouraged with just what I've seen so far. So since 2009, I have only watched the scale either be the same or creep up. So for it to actually go in the opposite direction and be down 7.5 pounds, I think is fantastic, or it certainly is encouraging to me that that I need to continue, that this is the right thing for my body, and I need to continue on this journey. The other reason I'm encouraged is because I just feel better. I had gotten to the point where I just getting ready in the morning, going through that whole morning routine, and then commuting into work, which I have an hour to an hour and a half commute depending on weather and traffic and things like that. It's at least an hour, can be longer. That by the time I would get into work, get into my office, and get ready to start my day, I was like starting out exhausted. So that is one thing I've certainly noticed with the carb reduction and the alcohol reduction, is that I just am feeling better. I'm feeling more energetic in the mornings and more ready to tackle my day, and not be so fizzled out. In terms of exercise, I was not doing any certain specific program. I was just concentrating on getting more steps in every day. My company has a wellness program where they reward points for steps using a Fitbit. And when I first started monitoring myself at the beginning of the year, I was averaging in the 4,000 range of steps, under 5,000 steps a day. So my goal was to bump that up and hit at least 7,500 a day, which I can say I was consistently doing that. A few days I hit 10,000, a couple of days I hit 12,000 steps. So definitely I upped my activity level during this time, and I think that also is what's contributed to just overall feeling better. So given the length of this video, I will cut it off here, and I'll record another video to talk about next steps and where I see my journey going from here. Thanks for watching.